Hi, and welcome to Linux and Windows Help. This is episode 14, and we're going to be covering Kali Linux, and we're going to learn what hacking is and why it's important to hack. And after we install Kali, we're going to perform a demo hack, and then I'm going to show you what an SSH tunnel is as well. Alright, first off, let's go over, what is hacking, or what is a hacker. You see, right, this picture right here, this is a white hat hacker, this is a black hat hacker, and this is a gray hat hacker. You notice they got it color coded. I got this image off Google Images. Anyways, a black hat hacker is someone that will hack, steal your information. They'll do credit card fraud. They'll screw up websites. They'll damage things. And you got a white hat hacker, also known as like a security analyst. They want to do good things. They make firewalls. They make antiviruses. They make antidotes to get rid of viruses. They secure networks. They help with information to secure networks. And you got a gray hat hacker. Of course, you know what the gray zone is? It's a mixture between a white hat and a black hat. Basically, they'll do illegal things, but they do it for a good cause usually. Like they'll hack a company's website, and then they'll send them a message saying, "Hey, I hacked your website. Here's the exploit. Patch it." They do things like that. A lot of times they get arrested because they're still doing legal things, but sometimes they get paid for doing it, or they get hired. But black hats is the ones that destroy. That's all they do is destroy. Usually black hat and white hat don't get along. Okay, now the purpose or why hacking is good, let's say you own a bank, okay? You hire a white hat to try to hack your bank. If they can get in, so can them. So basically the white hat will hack your bank first, patch it to where the black hat can't hack it. So a white hat is similar to a gray hat. It's just gray hat just takes it on their own accord. Hey, I'm going to hack you, and then I'm going to tell you about it. White hat is like walks in and hands a job application to you, or a resume. Like, hey, I want to work here. That's the difference between the hats. Alright, so now we're gonna cover that. Oh yeah, don't use any of this stuff to do illegal things. This is just for information only, to teach yourself about computers basically. It's not I'm not here to show you how to destroy. I want you to learn. That's what I want you to do. So we're not to that point yet. Right here, you gotta download a few things here. If you don't have VirtualBox already, get it. You can also get it on Windows too. They got Windows versions. Windows, they even got Mac. So if you're on a Mac, you can follow this tutorial as well. And you're gonna need to download virtualbox.org, and then downloads. And it varies on Linux. Sometimes you gotta install different ones. Sometimes the ones on the site don't work. You gotta get third-party ones like Oracle. But this is Oracle. But there's just different versions basically for different operating systems. All right, you gotta download Kali. It's at kali.org. What Kali is it's a Linux operating system, just like Linux Mint that we've downloaded before. But it's got all kinds of security tools on there, or penetration tools. So basically, all the good tools out there for hacking is already pre-installed on this operating system. It is focused around hacking. That's all it is. Okay? So go ahead and download Kali Linux, the current one. I don't know what version you're going to have at the time, but this is where I'm at the current time. After you download that, download Metasploitable too. this is the main site. There's probably other places to download it from, but it wants information here. Put whatever, I guess. If you want to put your real information, I don't think it's going to really make a difference. What Metasploitable is, it's an operating system that has tons. Whenever exploits are found on our stuff, different exploits into the machines or servers, all this stuff is crammed together on this operating system. So this is the most unsecure operating system you could possibly get. But the reason why we're going to download it is for testing Kali Linux. You can hack this 1,000 different ways. So this is to learn hacking. I want you to download Metasploitable too. It's a very good operating system to start off on. I mean, it's got tons of exploits on there. If you can't hack this, then you don't need to be. Well, we're going to be hacking it today, but if you can't hack none of these things, then you have no business to even do anything else, really. Because this is, like I said, there's 1,000 exploits onto the system. Don't use it as your main operating system. But yeah, go ahead and you can find it from other places, I'm sure. But this is the actual website to download it. It's at information.rapid7.com, metasploitable-download.html. Alright, after you download all them, you can run Oracle VirtualBox, and we're going to go to, well, here's your Kali Linux you downloaded, here's your Metasploitable you downloaded, and you already have your Oracle VirtualBox installed. Go to New. We're going to call it Kali Linux. You go and put this regular Kali Linux, I'm going to put it 2 because I already got one. Select Type Linux. You want to go to other 32-bit. Give it a little bit of RAM. Create a virtual hard disk. Create. Make sure you give at least like 80 gigabyte here. It's not going to use that much, but it installs a lot of space. Make sure you put that much, because if you don't, the installation is not going to go through. You're not going to be able to install it. Okay. I'm going to create it. Alright, there's Kali Linux 2. I'm going to go to Settings. Go to System. Go to Processor. And enable this. Usually this should be off, but enable it on. Make sure that's checked. And that should be it. Okay, and okay. Now go to where it says Storage. You're going to want to enter a CD into the CD-ROM drive. Click on it and go to Choose File, go to your desktop, and get the Kali Linux you downloaded, which is right here. Hit OK. Alright, let's go ahead and start booting it up. And you'll come to this screen. Use your arrow keys on your keyboard and go down to Install. Hit Enter. Select English or whatever language you choose. Whatever language you're fluent with. Same thing here. Choose your area you're located in. What keyboard you want to use. And we'll go to here. And this is your host name. Type it whatever you want. So whatever your name will show up on the network, basically. And if you got a domain, this is where you enter it. Otherwise, just make up something. It says, make sure all the computers in your network share the same domain. Root password. Choose whatever password you want. This is to log into Kali. Retype your password. Hit Enter. Choose your time zone. Hit Enter. Use the guided. Use entire disk. Hit Enter. Go ahead and hit enter here. It should be already pre-selected and everything. Go to all files in one partition, hit enter, and then hit enter for finish partitioning and write changes to disk. Go to yes, hit enter. And then it starts installing the system. And you got about 15 minutes. Go start a crock pot full of food so you have some food later after you get done with this, or start a loaf of bread or something in your bread maker. That'd be awesome. I like bread. I just got a bread maker again. A network mirror. This is to try to look for the most updated version of Kali you can get. But you can choose yes if you want. It's going to take longer, but just choose no for this tutorial. It's fine. You can always update the system later. You don't have to do it here. You can do it tomorrow if you want. You might come up here and it's just going to be a solid blue screen. Do not freak out. This is not Windows. This does not mean you got a blue screen of death. Sometimes it glitches and it doesn't show anything. Just put your little cursor on the window and click it and drag it upward, or just drag it somewhere. It should pop up. It'll start working again, basically. I mean, it's still working. It's just you can see the progress. Then you'll come to this screen. You want to install the Grub Bootloader, and hit yes. And select this. Hit yes. Hit enter. Hit enter. Get installation complete. This might not work on all computers. It's best to have like an Intel card, Intel chipset, Intel video card, or an AMD video card and an AMD chipset. It's good to have those things. Some computers it's not going to work. Like I got a couple computers this does not work on. It does not work at all. Anytime I try to do anything, it locks up and I have to reinstall it. It's a pain. Okay, so. It might work on your computer, it might not. But it's best to have like an Intel video card, an Intel chipset, or an AMD chipset, and an AMD video card. Anyways, hit enter, continue. And it's going to reboot, and it's going to go to here. You don't have to do anything, you don't have to touch anything. But this is a place to where you can, add exceptions when it's booting up and it'll do different things. So. It's got a couple second pause here where you can use your key to go to advanced options to do advanced things. But you don't have to worry about that. You'll come to this screen, type root, which is it's a security risk. I don't know why Kali Linux does it, but they make root your default username, and it's sort of like what Windows does. So it's kind of silly to step backwards for Linux, but it's all right. You can always create a new user that you have to type sudo for. Instead of automatically you're automatically on root, you can just make a user to where it's on the sudo and you can disable root access. Therefore it'll make the Linux operating system a little bit safer. I mean the Kali Linux a little bit safer, but it's kind of silly to do. Anyways, go ahead, but for right now just type root, because that is your default username, like I said. And I'll go to password. Go and type your password you supplied during the installation. And then you'll boot into Kali Linux. Just like that. Boot into Kali Linux. And give yourself a pat on the back. You just installed Kali Linux. What Kali Linux is, it's like I said, it's a toolkit with a bunch of hacking tools. And you can go up to applications to see, it's got all different kinds of tools. We're not going to go over all the tools right now in this episode, but later episodes we'll try to go over different things. Okay, but for this one we're not going to go over all that. All right, we're going to get the Metasploitable up. It's pretty well the same thing. Go and hit new. What Metasploitable, you got to go ahead and unzip this right here. What it does they already have it pre-installed, and it's actually a virtual disk. You don't install it; it's just a virtual disk. So go ahead. Yeah, we're going to minimize this. All right. In your home folder, you'll see VirtualBox VMs. Go ahead and copy this folder over with the virtual drive. Go ahead and copy it over here. Then you go to New, name it Metasploitable 2. I already got one, so I got to put a different name. Make sure you select Linux. Do Ubuntu 32-bit on this one. Give it a little bit of RAM. Hit create. Or no, use existing virtual hard drive. And then make sure you go into your Metasploitable 2 and grab that drive. I'm not going to be able to use it because there's already one in use. I already got it, the same one installed. You'll see it gives errors. Already exists, so that's why I can't install it again. But yours will go fine. All right. After it's installed, go to Settings. After you select that, go to Metasploitable, go to Settings, and go up to System. Make sure that's checked, and make sure that's checked, and hit OK. All right, you're ready to go. Select Metasploitable. Let's start. Nope, we're not going to do it here. Hang on. Power off. Where are you at? Oh, that's fine. Get it done here. Alright. Go ahead and start that. Alright, so now we got Kali Linux running over here. And we got Metasploitable running over here. Now this Metasploitable 2 is kind of broken, so we're going to have to, in order to get to where we can see it visually, we have to do a couple things. We have to shut someone off, remove like a temporary file. It's just I'll show you when it gets there. Go ahead and boot on up. La da da, la dee da. Alright, when you get here, you'll see it tells you log in with msfadmin, msfadmin. So that's the username and password. So it gives it to you right there. So Metasploitable login, msfadmin. Ask for a password, it would be the same thing, msfadmin. Alright. Now when you type start X, which is X Windows, it's not going to boot up. It's saying error, blah, 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 blah. Go ahead and remove this. So just type sudo rm temp x0 -lock and enter. And then you need your password, which it gives it to you right there. Just type it, boom. Okay, now you can type start X. And it goes into the little visual mode, which it's not really, you can see it's another operating system though. You got different applications. And anyways, go to applications, go to terminal emulators. Next term, type ifconfig. Okay, this is running on 192.168.1.77. It's the IP address of the Metasploitable. Okay, so I'm going to load up a terminal real quick. We're going to run nmat. And 192.168.1.77. What we're doing is running a port scan on the IP address. And you'll see it's got a lot of servers open. I'm just going to go up here to the first one, 21. 21, that's more than likely an FTP server. So we're going to try to get into there. Alright. Oh, by the way, Metasploitable, it is, like I said, everything is hackable on it. So they put everything that can possibly be hacked on there. So there's tons and tons of hacks. This is just a couple. Okay? There's all different kinds of hacks going on there. Alright. So we got port 21. Alright, so we know it's probably an FTP. It even says FTP. So we're going to see what version of FTP serves. So all you do is connect to it. 192.168.1.77. Let me just try to connect. Okay, we got vsftpd 2.34. So that's trying to, get me to log into it. I don't, we don't know the login, login password, so all we have to worry about is the vsftpd version 2.34. That's what version of FTPD is running. So we know 2.34. Okay, we're going to go ahead and just minimize that. And we're going to load up something. This is the only thing we're going to use on the Kali Linux today. Metasploit framework. I should have went ahead and preloaded it. It takes a while to load, but just let it load. It's going to take a minute, sorry. Usually I have things preloaded so lower the amount of time on the video, but now you just have to put up with me for a couple minutes while we let this load. I guess I could turn a camera on me and like juggle or something. Yeah. Rather than that, I'm not breaking the laptop, and you're not going to be shit out of luck on this video. So I guess just fast forward your little. I don't do like a lot of video editing. I'm gonna grab me a beer. How about that? Just let it load. It's loading. Ah, damn it! Get a beer. Okay, back to the seat now. All right, we're loading to the Metasploit Console. Okay. What Metasploit Console is, it's a open source program that it has like automatic 1, 2, 3 hack. It's a really good tool. In the olden days, you had to do everything on your own. You had to like be flooding at the same time while you're trying to connect a shell, and you got to do all this. You can still do it, but this is a program to make it easier, and it's a great tool. It really is. And later on in episodes, whenever we're doing reverse engineering, I'll go over how to make your own Metasploit exploit. Because a regular exploit is not a Metasploit exploit. You gotta do it a certain way in order to be able to put it on the system. It's a great system though. Okay, start off. Let's type search. What was it again? vsftpd. Do search. Alright, there's one backdoor. And guess what? It's vsftpd 234, which is 2.34. This is the one we had. So we got one. We got an exploit for it. So type use exploit Unix FTP vs FTPD 234 backdoor. Enter. Alright, now the exploit vs FTPD 2.34 backdoor is selected on the Metasploit console. Type show options. Options are, you can change the port, but we know it's already on port, we already know it's on port 21, so we don't have to do nothing here. So put set our host to 192.168.1.77, which is our target machine over here, the Metasploitable. That's the IP address we looked up earlier. And go ahead and enter. Okay, now the exploit vsftpd 234 backdoor is selected, and the IP address is set to 192.168.1.77, which is our networked virtual machine Metasploitable 2. Alright, all you gotta do is type exploit. So I told you it's easy. You know, you're not manually doing everything. It's all in the system. It's really easy to exploit a system with Metasploit. And it's a tool that comes with Kali Linux. It's one of the best tools to use, actually. You know, it's used constantly. Just type exploit. Okay. It's exploiting the system right now. It's basically flooding this guy over here. You know, I forgot to go over something over all this. You might be having errors right now. Just turn off both your... If you're having errors right now connecting, just turn off both of your systems. Damn it. I don't like messing up. But turn off both your systems and like edit them. Go to settings. Go to network. Make sure you change it from net. Go to bridge adapter. Okay, take it from that and turn them both to bridge adapter. That's going for and hit OK. Do that for both Kali and this guy over here. Okay, sorry about that, because you're not going to be communicating without doing that. You probably already ran into an error and you're like, it's not working. Ah! That's all you got to do is put it to bridge. Okay. All right, we're hacked into there right now. We are logged into Metasploitable, and we actually have root access right now to this Metasploitable. Okay, we can do whatever we want. List of files. We can delete things. We can put in viruses. Whatever we want to do. We're logged into it just like we were sitting into. Pretty much like we was. So, yeah, we have access like this. Actually, like. We are sitting there like this with admin, with root. That's the way we are sitting over here right now, but we are remote to this machine as root. Okay? So all we can do whatever we want. List of files, delete files, put in viruses, you know, download and execute, or upload and execute from this computer, send, all that stuff. We can do anything we want. So like we can put in a Trojan. If it's like Windows, we can put in a Trojan, or we can put in a rootkit, whatever. So we can have a backdoor to the system. Whenever you put a Trojan in, you know, it's like it can be programmed anything possible by a computer. So you can just hit a button and it will jump and do whatever the hell you got it programmed to do on the other end. So, but all we're gonna do right now, we're just gonna type reboot. That's all we're gonna type. I'm sorry to not make it like we completely kill the machine or whatever, but we're just gonna reboot the computer. Hit enter. You see it's rebooting. Eventually it's gonna cut the connection over here and you're gonna see connection cut. Command cell stress and close. Alright. The network is closed basically from both systems. Now this one's gonna reboot. And we have to go through all that bull malarkey of typing start X, it's not going to boot, we got to remove something, got to do all that bull malarkey again. And we're going to go ahead and close this off. So you saw how to use Metasploit. It's a pretty good program. That's just one exploit. There's millions of exploits, and then you find exploits are found almost every day. So new program is released, exploits are found. Then patches are made. You know, whenever you download security updates, it fixes one exploit, and then all of a sudden another one pops up. Because I don't know. I'm guessing stupidity, or it's done on purpose as a backdoor for government or something. I don't know. I can't tell you on that. You'd think by now they'd figure it out. But it's not the way it is. You saw it. It wasn't too hard now, was it? Okay, I want to show you something. We did it the hacking way, like without, permission. We got in there without permission, and we're not even going to use Kali anymore. Okay. we're just going to use the standard, this computer over here, our main computer. As we already did with the, to show you that SSH is on pretty much every Linux system. And on Windows, you can download something like Putty or Kitty. So you can do this on Windows too. You can control machine. So now we're at a standard terminal. Just type SSH and then the IP address. Oh wait, no, SSH. The username is, shoot, what would the username be? Yeah. Okay, that'll work. Is it? We're doing something wrong here. I'm gonna start over. Oh, I know I'm doing wrong. Alright. I think it's, what is a username over here? I'm sorry. I wasn't prepared for this. Oh, it's just Metasploitable. Or MS. Sorry. My bad. Okay, put SSH MSF admin. I don't usually use SSH anymore. I use like, my mind's blank right now. VCN 192.168.1.77. So SSH, the login name for the computer you're connecting to, and then the IP address of the computer you're connecting to. Hit enter. And it's asking for MSF admin's password, which is MSF admin. Alright, so you notice in the bottom we are logged into msfadmin at metasploit.com. So we're basically in control just like this over here. We are identical. So reboot's not going to work because we don't have root. So sudo reboot, and the password is msfadmin. And it rebooted the same as like when we hacked into it. And it's going to be the same. It's going to close the connection, which is a remote connection. But you see how, you know, I use the secure shell to log into the computer. It's just like hacking, but it's actually part of the system. It's the way it's intended to be. Hacking is doing things that it's not intended to be. So they don't intend you to hack the system, but you're able to because of a security flaw. And you're basically making it, you're doing what they don't want it to do. Alright, that's pretty good for the first video here, for this one. So you can go on YouTube, you can go on Google, and you can learn different things. You can learn all about this at Kali Linux and about Metasploitable. Just look up different tutorials. It'll show you how to use this, how to show you how to use that. You know, it'll go over whatever you want to learn. Just type it in YouTube or Google. Anyways, please do not use this information to hurt anybody. This is just for educational purposes, not to hurt anybody. Thank you for watching episode 14.